hello, good day to everyone. Hoping that all of you are fine. So, if you didn't subscribe my channel still, do it first and like the video if you like, share if you think it worth a lot. And let's get into the topic. Excuse me, how can I get to the Koti Reddy circle? How can I reach New Bus Stand? Oh, you should pass by Koti Reddy circle. And how could I get to the old bus stand? You have to get through Koti Reddy circle first. I heard that Cafe Kadapa is very famous in Kadapa. How can I go there? Through Koti Reddy circle? Oh my god, you must get through Koti Reddy circle first to reach any point in Kadapa. That's not always going to go out of that circle. Just freeze yourself at the circle once. You can find an idol of a great man over there. Watching that statue feels like raising your hand and taking a bow towards that great man. Because it's not just an idol, it is another shape of Satya Harishchandra in Kali Yuga. Before knowing about him, SKR and SKR Government Degree College for Women. Is it just a college? No, it's not just a college. That's a power. It's a manure which makes us sink in devotion. Whom do you think behind this power, manure and devotion? As discussed in the previous video, do you think it's Ramasubama or it's her dedication? But in those days, it was a sin for a woman to cross the threshold, and how was it possible for her? Yes, today I am going to tell you about that great man who gave her a hand that I am with you. So guys, get ready to know the history of Kadapa Koti Reddy, a warrior who fought to overthrow the grim British Empire, a Congress party leader with an honest commitment to justice, unborn enemy, practicing the truth, behaving righteously, continuing the service philosophy, loving all without discrimination. People who continue to be gentlemen in society are very rare. Koti Reddy is one of them. So, in those days, he was very well known as Satya Harishchandra. Koti Reddy also from his childhood was behaving with a very sensitive mind with the best ideas. Untouchability, superstitions were rampant in the society of that time. In these circumstances, the upper classes lived a somewhat arrogant life. But Koti Reddy wakes up as one of them and adheres to the principle of do not hurt others. Inspired by their eminent way of thinking was from family, his family members. Koti Reddy Garipallai, also known as Narayana Cheruvu of now Madanapalle Mandal, is a village in present-day Chittoor district. At that time, the village was in Kadapa district. His real name is Koti Reddy Gari Koti Reddy, whose parents were Siddha Reddy and Nagamma, whose grandfather was Koti Reddy. The same name was given back to Koti Reddy. Koti Reddy memorized Indian Ramayanas as he was a child. There was a poem in Mahabharata. ఒరులేయనియునరించిన నరవర యప్రియముదన మనంబున కగుదా నొరులకు నవి సేయకునికి పరాయణము పరమ ధర్మ పదములకెల్లెన్. The meaning of this verse is that whatever work others do which makes us suffer, and that work should not be done in the case of others. He would recite this poem along with the sentiment throughout his life to his offspring, society, and whenever the occasion arose. He read the Ramayana and the Mahabharata even when he was imprisoned. He never drank in life. After graduating with a BA from the University of Madras, Koti Reddy graduated a barrister at the Law Temple in England in 1911. He later began his career as a lawyer. Mate who started his practice as a barrister in Madras could not stand the profession for long. Koti Reddy could not bear to sometimes have to lie on behalf of the victims who came to believe him. He could not bear to lose justice because of his lies. So, he stayed in the profession for only a year, thinking that his life would be a lie if he continued in that profession, and then quit the legal profession. Settled in Kadapa. As he was settled in Kadapa, the name Kadapa settled in his name as Kadapa Kotireddy. Although he initially joined the legal profession, Kotireddy did not give up his favorite farmer's life even after that. In 1921, he accompanied Mahatma Gandhi on a tour of Rayalaseema, entered the legislature in 1922. In 1926, he was elected deputy leader of Swarajya Party. In 1929, he was elected to the Madras Legislative Assembly as an independent member. In 1931, he was unanimously re-elected to the Madras Legislative Assembly. The Madras Presidency consisted of the districts of Srikakulam, Visakhapatnam, East Godavari, West Godavari, Krishna, Guntur, Nellore, Chittur, Anantapur, Kadapa and Kurnool. Tamils predominated in the presidency. He played a key role in the separate Andhra movement protesting against the domination of Tamils. He presided over the Andhra Mahasabha twice in 1929 and 1937, which was formed to oppose the Tamil dictatorship against the Telugus. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan was the first person to get this opportunity and Kotireddy was the second person. He also presided over the special meeting of the Andhra Mahasabha held in Madras in 1931. He took an active part in Salt Satyagraha in 1940. He was also imprisoned for this. Kotireddy was also actively involved in the Home Rule movement in Rayalaseema along with Gadicherla Harisarvotama Rao. Kalluru Subbarao along with Pappuru Ramacharya worked for the public welfare of Rayalaseema. Also worked with Gutti Keshava Pillai in the Pro-Congress Presidency Association. Kadapa Kotireddy was a political mentor for a political stalwart who grew up as a President of India, Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. Kotireddy served as the Revenue Minister in the Rajaji government in the joint Madras state and undertook reforms. As part of this process, Harijans were allowed to enter the temples at Mathura, Tirunelveli and Srirangam. As discussed in the past video, Kotireddy's wife Ramasubbamma, she was actively involved in the independence movement with the help of her husband. From the beginning, Kotireddy had respect for women. Despite the talent, courage and power of thought, women lagged behind whose mind disagreed. He avoided discriminating women from men. In this order, he taught English to his wife Ramasubbamma, encouraged to participate in the freedom struggle. He corrected her and led her forward. The name of Mrs. Margaret, cousin of Madanpalle Theosophical Society at this time should be also mentioned. Ramasubbamma was given good courage to get into politics. Kotireddy later paid special attention to the education of his children. Their daughter Indira Devi was passed SSLC in 1942 while he was participating in the Quit India movement and was imprisoned. He also encouraged girls not to drop out of the school. Kotireddy invited so many women consciousness. Having a look at the respect for foreign women, Kotireddy once attended a Christmas party while studying in London. As part of the festivities, a woman stands near a Christmas tree and the custom of kissing the women in a row begins shortly after. But our Kotireddy did not agree to kiss the foreign woman. He felt it as a right to only her husband. Hence, rejecting that custom, he came out of there. This was also mentioned by their daughter Indira Devi later. In the Khadi movement, our Priya Bapuji founded Khadi societies across the country. Kotireddy was entrusted with the responsibilities of the Rayalaseema region. Khadi propaganda was widespread across the country at that time. Against this backdrop, the head of Vijay Vahini Studios, B. Nagireddy, used to weave Khadi cloth in his village Kottapalli under the influence of Gandhi. Kotireddy, on the other hand, was unable to supply raw materials to the Khadi community in Kottapalli village due to unavoidable circumstances. So, no problem, no damage. But Kotireddy, however, could not bear it. That is why he himself went to Kottapalli and apologized to Sri Nagireddy. Kotireddy, who had such a sensitive mind, had never wronged anyone in his life. Not guilty of selfish politics, this single incident is indicative of his mentality. After independence, He elected from Kadapa constituency in the first democratic general election held in 1952 after independence in 1947. Andhra Pradesh was formed on October 1, 1953 as the first Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. October 1, 1953 to November 15, 1954 was Tanguturi Prakasham Pantulu, for whom Koti Reddy served in the cabinet while serving. In 1955, he was elected to the Legislative Assembly from Lakkireddipalli constituency. Elected to the Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly in 1957 and to the Legislative Council in 1964. As President of Rayalaseema Drought Association acted in the Treaty of Sribag, continuing to be the President of Andhra Mahasabha, Sribag signed the treaty and paved the way for the formation of a comprehensive Andhra state. The then Justice Party leader King of Panagal tried to influence Koti Reddy. The members announced that he would be given the ministry post as soon as he joined their party. But Koti Reddy, a patriotic patriot, disagreed. He refused to join the party that surrendered to British ruthlessly. An incident also took place during Koti Reddy's school days in Madanapalle. The train from his village to Madanapalle was delayed. In this case, there was a delay in reaching the railway station. The train, which was already stopped on the tracks, was moving. There is also no time to buy a ticket. In this situation, the moving train boarded. But then he got off at the next station and took the ticket and expressed his honesty. This is what their daughter Indira Devi mentioned in her memories. Koti Reddy has never been disappointed in his life. He was not greedy. He lived a very happy life for the rest of his life. Koti Reddy did not fall ill even he got older. Even the routine continued until his last days. He reads the newspaper every day. He was obsessed to noticing the difference from his time society to the present society and seeing increasing selfishness. Under these circumstances, he once said to his daughter, "My dear Indira, I have a hope now. I hope to live for another 15 years." But went without seeing the full development.